Today I want to share with you what we will be using for my 6th grader in this upcoming 2023-2024 school year. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If you are new here, I am a homeschool mom to 4 boys and I have graduated too. So this school year I have a 5th grader and a 10th grader, and this is our 15th year homeschooling. I am excited to show you what we will be using for my 6th grader next school year. Some of the things are different and some things we will continue with, so they will be the same. But I want you to keep in mind, the reason I started this channel was to share our journey, not just in the midst of it, but past. So I have a lot of videos that talk about what we did in our early years, and also I am sharing our journey through these years. With my last school year, I had a 4th and a 9th grader, and this year I have my 5th and 10th grader. But as I'm showing you the curriculum, keep in mind that every family, homeschool family, is going to be different in their choices, are going to be different in their needs for their family, for their children. The bulk of our curriculum is actually Heart of Dakota. It is the 3rd time we have used it, and we are using it differently this school year. So keep that in mind, that even with a curriculum that you have used several times, that there might be things that you are not using with it, or there might be some things that you're adding into it that might make it different. So that is how it is for us this school year. So a couple of the things will be new to us, and I'm excited about that. Let's get started. And the first thing I want to start with is the science, and that is actually something somewhat new to us, and it's Science Shepherd. We will be using the life science, and I am going to link a little picture right here because it is on the computer. I do not have the books. The books will be printable also, and I will share more about all of that. I will do like a prep, get ready for the school year video, and just sort of confirm everything, make sure there was no changes or additions or subtractions. And I will probably do that towards the end of July. But I am excited about that science. I have talked to my 6th grader about it, and it was some things that he wants to learn more about. So that is what we are going to go with this school year. Now for math, we have been using Matthew C, and he is finishing up Epsilon. And I think he's on week 18. There's 30 lessons. Probably not going to get finished. I always have the hope of maybe finishing over the summer, but we will see, and I will let you know how that goes. But if not, we'll start out with this, which we will finish very quickly, and then move on to Zeta. So that is what we will be using. Okay, next I want to show you our language arts. And the first thing I'm going to show you is our spelling, which is the spelling from IEW, the Phonetic Zoo, and we are using this school year, level A, and we will continue on with level B next school year. I do have a couple videos on that, so I will link this below. Some of the core curriculum I have videos on. I actually have a video on the Science Shepherd, so I will also link that below. But this will be our spelling, and then the other 2 things are actually in the Heart of Dakota guide, and let me show you that because I think the rest of the curriculum is actually scheduled out. And this is a Charlotte Mason all-in-one Christian worldview curriculum that we have been using. This is our 3rd time through this guide, and we are very excited about it. This is Resurrection to Reformation. We are just finishing up Creation to Christ this 5th grade year. So now for their language arts, let me show you what they're going to be using. And this is our first time with this, and it's Rod and Staff. This is one of those curriculums I was really thinking about and praying about. Well, we're going to go ahead and use what is scheduled in the guide this school year and see how it goes, which is Rod and Staff for the grammar. And I think there's some writing in here, I'm not sure. But they also are using the IEW, the medieval history-based themed book. And we have used this with a couple of my other boys, but it was much older. They have updated it probably a couple times since then. So this is brand new. I haven't even opened it up yet. We're very excited about this. This is his first time using an IEW curriculum, but I have been using it over the years with my other boys. So And so he has probably heard Andrew Pudewa on videos and knows who he is. But this will actually just be a themed book, so he won't watch videos this school year. All right, another thing that I would consider part of the language arts is their actual reading program, and this is new to us too, Drawn into the Heart of Reading. Now, when I'm pulling this up, I have not looked into this real deep, trying to decide if we are going to be able to fit all this in, but I want to try. So we have this, we have the student book, and this is for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay, this will really just be introducing him to different genres, like biographies. They have a list here. Let me see. Biographies, adventure, historical fiction, fantasy, mystery, folktale, nonfiction, humor, realistic fiction, and then it has work pages for those. So this is new to us, and I will be sharing more about how that goes. I have picked out some books, and most of them are books that are listed in their catalog, or you can look at online, that would fall under those categories. And the nice thing about is you don't have to pick those exact books. You can pick anything that falls under it. So it's not saying that you have to use what they've picked for their biography or for their historical fiction. You can choose, or their mystery. You could pick whatever book you would like, and you could still break it down in the student book. So, okay, before I show you the actual history for this guide, let me show you a couple other studies. I did a video recently about living books, and I talked about Heart of Dakota and all that they had to offer, and I talked about a lot of different studies like art studies, Shakespeare studies, state studies, and this particular guide has a few of those studies. It actually has an art study from this book, and it is done once a week. And let me also mention that this curriculum is a 4-day curriculum, so that is really helpful. But it actually just has like different pictures, and you just read through it. It'll tell you what to talk about and study that day, and it will have to do with that age period of history, resurrection through Reformation. So that is once a week. They also do have a Shakespeare study with notebook pages. So this is new to us. We've done the art. A couple of my boys have done the art, but we've never actually done this. So going to see how it goes, and excited to share this with you. And that is once a week. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. The next thing is a devotional study. Now they actually have a Bible in there, and before I forget, let me tell you that we are not going to use their Bible, and that is one thing I have not picked yet, is what I'm going to be using for him for Bible. We have done with Preparing and Creation of Christ sort of a study through the Bible a couple times, so I'm thinking more of a topical study or a particular book of the Bible. I just have not narrowed that down, but I wanted to share with you everything I have decided on. So by the time I do my next video of the prepping and preparing for the school year, I will have, prayerfully, that narrowed down. So, but they do have a devotional study that uses some books that we do have and have used in the past, and these are the 3 books. And they start out with Boyhood and Beyond, and this is from Bob Schultz. They use several of his books throughout the guides, throughout the years, and this is the first time they use one of his books, so I'm very excited about that. Really enjoy that. So, and this devotional time is once a week. And then towards the end of the school year, they have From Boy to Man, very small little book, and God's Design for My Body. And my husband usually does these with the boys. That's just worked out best for us. So that is all scheduled in the Heart of Dakota guide. Let's take a look at the history, which the reason I love this curriculum is it has history spines, it has living books, and just if you're not familiar with this, it is for ages 10 to 12. They have charts online, or you could get a catalog, and it's sort of like a placement chart of where they would fit in for what they are capable of doing with their abilities. of reading and writing and math and all those things. If you wanted to combine, you could. We have done that one year with one of them, and they have extensions. Like when I show you the living books that they'll use for the read alouds, they have extensions that are a little bit for older students that they would read on their own if you had an older student. Okay, so I'm getting ready to show you the history, which will include the spines and the living books, but they have a section for those two, and they also have a section for history projects. We have not been doing those. I haven't even looked through the guide to see what those are about. So more than likely we will not, but I will again let you know throughout the year. I will be sharing updates all the time throughout his 6th grade school year and how things are going. So, and what he is reading at that time and reviews for the books. So if you do like this type of content, would love for you to hit that subscribe button. All right, so for the spines and the independent history study, that was the other word I was looking for, independent history study. Let me show you a couple of those. The independent history study will be a lot of work in the notebook and also listening to CDs and writing things down. Also will include work from Draw Right Now. And this is the Vikings, the Middle Ages, and the Renaissance. There's also some geography work. Now this doesn't have anything to do with the notebook, but you'll fill out maps as you are talking about history. This is the teachers, and I need to print off the students, so that's something I have not even done yet. All right, for the spines themselves, I'll just show you real quick. This is it. And we have Pearl and Peace, the story of the Middle Ages, monks and mystics, famous men of the Middle Ages, Gabriel and the Hour Book, Bard of Avon, which is the story of William Shakespeare. It's just a small book here. And then The Mystery of History 3. This book is actually used more of the second half of the school year. So now I want to let you know, my 2 older boys read through this, but my 3rd one, I found these, and that worked out great because he could follow along and listen. And sometimes I'll read it with my boys, especially my oldest. I did a lot of the reading through all these because it was new to me and I wanted to know what was in the books. But we love them all. But I have a feeling my rising 6th grader will probably pick this up and do a lot of the reading on his own. So I did want to share, though, that they have these on audio. And I think a lot of it is just online now. So I don't think you have to get the CDs. All right, for the actual living books, this is the pile for that. And I'm going to just go through these quickly. Now, in the last 2 guides, the living books or read alouds for history are read by the teacher. This school year it says teacher or student, so it's really up to you. I may do a lot of the reading for the spines and let him do a lot of the history reads. So, like I said, with any curriculum, it's going to look different for each family and their needs and what works for them. But this first book, Forbidden Gates, is one of my favorites, so we probably will read this one together. And then they have another Viking quest book. This was used in preparing hearts, and this is the Mystery of the Silver Coin, and we have the whole set, so he may just continue. I know a couple of my boys read them. All right, the Illustrated Book of Knights, Morning Star of the Reformation, Ink on His Fingers, Leonardo da Vinci, Mr. Pipes, and this is in Psalms and Hymns of the Reformation, Good Queen Bess, Squanto. Now this is actually on a CD, and I'm not sure, I have this book in the pile, but I know there's a CD that is actually in the listing in the catalog, but I think they're the same story. I could be wrong, but I need to find the CD. Also, the story of Sir Walter Raleigh, A Piece of the Mountain, the story of Pascal, and the Tinker's Daughter, which is a story based on the life of Mary Bunyan. So that is all the story, or what I like to call living books, that we will be using for the history with the Heart of Dakota, Resurrection to Reformation. Now, if you would like more information about this, or like to see an inside flip through of this book and how everything's going to correlate together, let me know. I usually try to do a video like that, but I'm not sure this year. Let me know if you're interested in seeing a look inside, because they do have a lot in the back that we will probably not use. They actually have poetry, and I haven't decided on that. They have dictation passages in the back that you can use, and then they actually have the extension schedule. So, and I wanted to also mention that this is a new book. We have had the older book, and if you trade that in, they give you half, and they give you a box to ship the old one back free. So that is what I decided to do, because they have it in color now, and that's not the most important thing. But for the IEW, which has updated twice, and they have updated the book to go along with that. So that is one reason, and some other reasons, that I decided to go ahead and get the updated book. All right, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Would love to talk to you, and I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.